Hey guys, I'm Carrie. Welcome to my channel. I am trying something different today because my phone, you know what, I should test and see if this is working. Okay, that worked. I'm so excited. I pulled out my podcasting microphone and I'm actually recording this on my Mac like webcam, I guess is what it's called. But I'm just trying something different because the sound from my iPhone has been horrible and it's really frustrating me. So, I I thought that this would be a better way to go about this video. I hope that that's not making noise. Let me put it over here. I wrote down notes. So today I'm just going to talk about like the first video in my health series. I wrote this as like health update, even though it's not an update because this is the first one. But I have struggled with my weight probably since I went to college and I quit playing basketball all the time in high school. Even though I never played for the team, I was always playing in the neighborhood with some guy friends of mine. I would be on I was on AAU basketball. I just played a lot of different sports as very active. Um, and then when I went to college, I was not very active. Not as active. I did still play some basketball. I had a friend. His name was Ronaldo, whose sister I used to play basketball with in this class that we had, team sports. And so we went to the same college and we became friends. And so we would play basketball some, but then that was like just the first year. He left after the first year. And it just kind of was downhill from there. And then I've been like up and down. I've done Weight Watchers. I've done a bunch of different things. So I just wanted to go over like what my goals are for this year. And then we'll talk about how I'm going to try to succeed at this. Today is January 10th. And I've been very good. Like, I feel like I've done really well this last 10 days. Sorry if you can hear Lenora snoring. She can't help but to snore when I'm recording something. So, my first goal is to lose 60 pounds. Overall, I want to lose like 100 pounds. But this year, I'd like to lose 60 pounds. I feel like 5 pounds a month for 12 months is 60 pounds. And 5 pounds a month is a good amount. They say you should aim for like 1 to 2 pounds a week, and that's like a conservative goal that people can legitimately reach. I have lost. I'm drinking. I made this. I'm just gonna set it there for a second. It's a coffee, dark chocolate protein, almond milk, caramel, zero sugar syrup thing. And it's delicious. I'm gonna do the math really quick. Stop. Excuse me. Excuse me. This is my little puppy, Maisie. Oh, you don't like it when the dog's outside bark, do you? My dad has dogs. And they have a... She's gonna be like this for a while. They have a yard outside with a barn that's connected. And so they barked at something. Probably a deer. There's like 7 deer that live in the yard. Anyway, so I have lost 4.6 pounds in 10 days. Now, granted, I know that's not sustainable at all. I'm not expecting that to be sustainable. I just think that's like the first time that you start to lose weight, you lose like bloating and water weight and stuff like that. So that's all that is. I don't think that that's, I'm sure it's going to spike up. But, so a goal is 5 pounds per month. And I do think that some of this weight that I'm losing this month, that's the higher amount, that's not really sustainable for every single month, will help give me a little bit of a buffer. So like, let's say in March, I only lose 4 pounds, but I lose 7 in January. Then technically I still have met my goal of having lost 15 pounds by end of March because I was over in January, kind of a thing. So I want to be 80% consistent with food and exercise. Trying to do, I wrote weights 3 times per day. That is not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do weights 3 times per week. I have a goal of walking 180 minutes per week. And that's just for Q1. I want to up that as I go. I kind of have steps I also have a goal for steps that's going to be like a gradual increase over time. Right now it's just 7,500, which I have not done a good job at meeting, but I have been doing a pretty good job at A, getting my weights in, and B, at least walking something. So I have started, like, yesterday, it's really cold. I go to the park here, and it's too cold to go to the park right now. So we have a treadmill in the garage area of this apartment, and walked on the treadmill. The goal when I can't go outside is to try to do 3 10-minute segments because I really hate walking on the treadmill. But that way I kind of just do short segments that I can deal with. Maybe one after every meal to kind of get my food moving. And these aren't fast walks or anything. These are just, I think I've been on like 2.5 on the treadmill, which is not that high. And then I want to track most of the time. I didn't put like a qualifier on that like I did with the other things. But like when I'm like traveling or something, I think tracking is going to be harder. But I want to try to make choices that are informed. So even if I'm not tracking, I'm still making good choices that fall within, that won't hurt my goals necessarily. Although sometimes I might just have an off day and call it an off day, especially towards the end of the month. I want to do like an 80% consistency, which I think for like 31 days, like January, that is 6 days that I could be inconsistent, like not be consistent or not hit my food or exercise goals. And so far I've only had 1 day where I didn't where I didn't hit my goals. So if I get to the end and I've only had 3 days, let's say, then I might say, okay, I'm just going to take a day off and have not necessarily whatever I want. That would allow me to kind of build in some days where I don't have to worry about it, kind of a thing. But how am I doing this? So I am using this thing called the Inner Circle, which is it's not an app, but it's a website that you can make an app on your phone. And the guy's name is Jordan Syatt, and he is on Instagram, which is where I heard about him from. And I really like a lot of the things that he does because it's a lot of like no nonsense, very simple approach. Just as a forewarning, he does use colorful language, which is not my thing, but it doesn't necessarily bother me when other people do it, as long as I'm like not around kids, which is the vast majority of the time. Like I would not pull up my phone and listen to whatever he's saying if I was around kids. But he has been better in recent years, and I think that's probably because he has kids now. So I don't think he's not cussing, but I just think he's like maybe not doing it as much because I think it's gotten better. So there's several things that his program offers. That is what I'm using it for. First, tracking. He has you track calories, protein, and fiber. Those are the only things that you have to track. And he gives you goal estimates on those based upon what you want your goal weight to be. And then you can track through his app. When you make the website an app on your phone, you can track through that. It's better than it was. When he first rolled it out, I didn't like it at all. Now he's using the MyFitnessPal, but I still don't love it. What I've been doing instead is, actually I don't even have it here, it's over there on the table. But I made myself food logs that are handwritten, and that's actually been working really well for me. I hate tracking food a lot of the time. It's part of the reason that I quit doing Weight Watchers. I was very successful on Weight Watchers when I was doing it, but they kept changing the point system, so I couldn't do it in my head. Like, you need to pay for the service because they just keep changing things. So I have been tracking just the calories and the protein, and he's very big on calorie deficit. Like, doesn't matter what else you do, calorie deficit is how you're going to lose weight. So that's the primary function that I'm going to use for counting myself as consistent. I still want to do the other things, like the exercise things, but the consistency part is probably 70% food and 30% exercise versus like 50-50 or something like that. He also has you weigh daily, which I am doing, and I do like this. I know that some people don't like the idea of doing this, but I love the way that he explains this, how it is just a data point, and you have to start thinking of it as just a data point. When you see your body fluctuate, your body weights fluctuate, which it's going to do, it triggers something in you to think some certain way. But if you can retrain your mind to not be triggered and just think of it as a data point, the weight doesn't matter. It's the consistency that matters, and the trend line that his graph has a trend line on it, so you can see if it's going down or it's going up or if it's staying flat. That's all that really matters. And so I do really like that approach, trying to get away from letting my emotions control how I feel about myself, kind of a thing, which is kind of weird saying emotions about how I feel. But, your emotions, they're valid in that you're feeling them and they are real, but your emotions are not necessarily true. They don't represent the truth of a situation. So you have to learn to regulate your emotions so that you don't let them control you. All right. Next up, I'm going to do monthly pictures and measurements. These are things that I just don't like doing measurements. I just don't like doing measurements. So I didn't want to do them, definitely not daily. And I didn't want to do them necessarily weekly. I've thought about potentially adding a mid-month measurements. So the 1st and the 15th, maybe I would do it. But this 15th, I will not be in town, and I am not taking my thing to do measurements. So, and then pictures, I'm going to do that but I'm only going to do it monthly because I don't think that I'm going to see enough of a reflection of how the consistency is impacting me after just a couple of days or a week or something like that. I really feel like I kind of need to give myself a little bit more space. I mean, granted, right now we're on day 10 of me doing this, and I probably would see a difference if I took a photo now because I'm down almost 5 pounds. So I can feel a difference. So I know that there would show a difference, but I'm still just going to do those monthly. And then he also provides, he has a way of tracking weight, measurements, and pictures in the app, and then doing comparisons, and then the little chart thing for the weight. I think that part of it is wonderful. Um, I've been on and off doing this. I've been paying for it for a long time because he upgraded it. And so it's paid quarterly, and it like doubled in price for the quarter. So it was originally like $75. And then he doubled it to like 150 when he added like the nutrition and stuff like that. But I didn't want to stop paying for it because once you stop paying for it, you go back up to the next time you sign up, you have to go up to the 150. So I did stop for a little while paying for it because I just was not mentally prepared. Like I wasn't mentally doing well. But then he said, oh, we're going to up the price. And I thought, I do want to start doing this. So I'm just going to go ahead and pay for it. And once a year, he also does like a discount. I think it's is it in November? Because November just passed. I don't know when it is. But once a year, he'll do a discount. And even current members can get the discount. You just have to email them and ask for it. So then on your next billing cycle, it will be discounted like a 20% off or something like that. Which is really nice because a lot of places don't do stuff like that. They'll give a discount to new customers, but not the current ones. But he also does workout programs where he has a lot of videos that show you how to do the things. And I'm just doing home workout right now. So there's like dumbbell workouts. Some of them are still like, I feel like I really don't have the stuff to do them, like medicine balls or kettlebells or whatever, but it's not such a big thing that you can't overcome, or he has the option to swap an exercise. So there's some exercises that I just don't feel like I'm strong enough to really do yet. So I pick like a simpler thing. Like today I had Hindu push-ups. And I was like, ugh. I don't do a lot things that are like my full body weight on it. I don't do well with. So like I switched to just a regular push-up to be able to still do something that's a similar kind of a thing and work up to being able to do the Hindu push-ups. Or like the bear crawls that he did in the lower body. I don't know how anybody does a bear crawl. Those are hard. Like just being in the bear crawl position is hard. So like week 1 that I did it, I held it for 5 seconds, which was really hard. And then this last time I held it for 10 seconds. So I'm gonna like hopefully work up to doing that. I also have been working out in this room here that I just didn't have the space to do like a movement bear crawl where I think you're supposed to go step across 8, 7, 6, 5. So to 1 steps, and I just don't have the length. I want to clean out the garage a little bit again and start working out in there, but I haven't done that. But the workout programs are really, really, really good. So I also want to do video recordings of monthly updates so that I can keep track of the experience. I don't know if every month I'll do like this kind of a sitting update. I might do like a day in the life when I'm doing like a weights day. I might do I don't know what I'm going to do yet for each one of them. I guess I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do in February, but we'll see. So that's where I'm at. I don't know. I don't super feel comfortable sharing numbers right now. I might eventually, once I've lost some weight. I weigh too much is just what it comes down to. And even though technically like the data points on the weighing is supposed to make you like just say, oh, it's a data point, there's still an emotional connection that I have towards it. So I'm not doing that now. I will share like updates of how much weight that I've lost as I go in these videos. So in February, I will update you with how much I lost in January and so forth and so on. So that's it. I oh, my eyes. I gotta get started working. 7:55, and I have to start working at 8. And I wanted to get this recorded, so this is actually perfect timing. But anyway, that's where I'm at. This is hopefully, I can keep going and stay with it. I am also, I should say, trying to identify negative voices in my head. So when or like when I have struggles with eating, like there's some days when I just feel like I'm hungrier. I really would like I'm trying to identify the negative things in my head and then also to pray about them, kind of turn that over to God, because the whole point of me doing this is so that I can be a better steward of what God has given me. And God has given me just this one body. I don't have any other options for bodies. I have to be in this one. So I should be taking care of it better. Plus, our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit. And so I should be treating it accordingly. And I have not been doing that for years. I do think that maybe one day I will talk more, like one of my videos might be on like the emotional reasons why I feel like I have gotten to this weight and that sort of thing, but not today. Today is not the day. I have 3 minutes before I have to start logging on for work. So I am, and it's supposed to start snowing today, so I need to go clean the window because the dogs like to push their noses up against the window, and I'm going to sit over there in the chair in front of the window, and I am going to watch it snow all day, hopefully. I absolutely love the snow. But I hope everybody stays safe because this week has been a wild week. I almost wish there was a way to like suck up the snow and like send it to California as water to put out their fires, because this has just been insanity. It's been very sad, and I've been praying about it, and I'm hoping that everybody who's impacted is safe. I hope that the people from the hurricane who still are displaced from their homes are like, I heard that some people are just like camping. Gosh, I hope they're not camping while this goes through, because this is going to be wild. So I'm praying for everybody to be safe, and yeah. All right. Well, that is it for this video. If you liked, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe so you get notified when I release new videos. I think there is a notification bell also, but I don't know why subscribing isn't sufficient. But I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.